Let's find out if project management is for you. Maybe you're thinking about this career, or maybe you observed project managers at work and you thought that they are cool. I selfishly hope for that. Or you already did some projects in your experience and just not sure if this path is for you. Today, I will break down the main skills that you need to have in order to be a successful project manager. Disclaimer, I won't be telling you about being skilled in tools and programs because let me tell you, tools and programs are secondary. You can learn how to use a tool pretty fast and there are much more important things than that. Let's do a quick refresher first. Who is project manager? When the company wants to create something new, it's usually a project. And a project needs a manager to ensure its success. To put it simply, project manager or PM is a fella that gets things done. This fella manages what are we trying to do, who is doing what, and how do they communicate between each other, how much time and money we need for all that, and what are we gonna do if something goes wrong. I work as a project manager for many years, mostly in tech. I grew from small initiatives to delivering big projects to managing other project managers and being responsible for the delivery of the whole area. And honestly, let me tell you, the variety of what is hidden in the word project manager is crazy. So many methodologies, types of projects, industries, directions, it's absolutely insane. But what I will share with you today is what are your personal skills that will make you successful in the role of project manager. It doesn't matter if you're doing something small or absolutely huge. Because from my experience, this is what is common for all successful project managers that I have met in my career. Let's go. And the first one is you need to be comfortable with communication. Talking to other people will occupy most of your working time either way, so you might as well enjoy it. But not everyone is comfortable with this amount of daily communication. I actually made a video recently about how to make career as an introvert, where I cover this and other helpful tips. I won't be a person who is recommending you a specific jobs for introverts. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. You can have any career you want. Feel free to check it if you like. Either way, skill number one and the most unavoidable one, I would say, project manager needs to be comfortable with communication. The second important skill for PM is leadership. Let me tell you, leadership can be quite a vague and broad term. So in this case, I would specify it a little bit more. Project manager needs to unite a project team with the goal of the project. A good project manager is not only reminding everyone about what are we doing, but also why are we doing, keeping the team united and motivated. It demands a skill of, inspiring people, being able to convey an important message, the way that people would actually believe you. And quite often, project managers don't even have direct reports in their team. So project manager manages a cross-functional team. All these people who are involved in the project are not her or his direct reports, which makes a leadership skill even more important for this role. Third skill is an ability to organize and facilitate others. Project manager, to a certain extent, organizes the work of all the people who are involved in the project. So it demands a certain structure in your mind, ability to gather all these people together, give them, let's say, a framework or a direction, or explain them what's the purpose of what we're doing right now. Ensure that the goal of the meeting is achieved, that we actually agreed on what we needed to agree on. All these facilitation skills are really important. And here I also want to add, I would say, certain courage. What I mean by that is sometimes when you facilitate a meeting, especially with a lot of people, especially if those people are your management or senior management, if you feel that something is not exactly clear, it takes a courage to ask difficult questions. For example, sorry, I didn't understand, but what is the action point? Or did we decide who is responsible for that? Or it looks like we did not specify the timeline for this thing that we just spoke about. All these things are sometimes genuinely a little bit hard to do. But if you learn that, if you master that, this is a skill that I'm absolutely sure you would benefit not only as a project manager, but in any other role. The next one is stakeholder management. I've already mentioned that as a project manager, you will probably work with the people who does not report to you directly. And the thing is, all these people have their own agenda, have their own interests that not always go hand in hand with what you want to achieve on your project. Stakeholder management is also quite a broad term, but I would specify it as understand other people's agendas. Being able to really listen and spot what other people want and base your actions accordingly. I personally personally think that stakeholder management is quite hard to learn, and the only way to do this is actually in practice. So please don't get discouraged if something is not going well with some people who are involved in the project. It happens, it's a learning curve, it's quite a complicated thing, especially if you just start your career as a project manager. The skill number 5 is an ability to structure chaos. How often did I see people who were starting a project without actually agreeing what the success of the project is, what is the scope of the project? Because if the vision of the end result of the project is in people's minds, so it's not in paper, it's not said out loud, if the people are not in one common info field, each person would simply think that the final result is something different. So putting it into words and properly structuring it is what project manager is doing. Also, when the project is already going on, and especially for a massive project, there are so many things that are happening at the same time. And sometimes it's really hard to put every small bits of new information into a proper box in your mind. You're getting overwhelmed and everything is getting messy and blurry. So the helpful skill here is to bring this clarity and structure. Keep the big picture in mind, but connect it with all the small things that are happening in the project. And the next skill is what I would call a sense of urgency. I would put it like that. There are people who are naturally driven by the deadline. I don't know if you can relate to that, but I personally do have that. I always feel when I or someone else experience a lack of time. I'm naturally really sensitive to deadlines, both at work and in my personal life. And to be honest, having the skill is quite handy because, everyone is not perfect. There is a chance that you are missing something at some point. But I always have this gut feeling that signals me if there is something that should be done for the project. You can develop things like that. At the same time, there are a lot of tools that support project managers there, but having it in you helps a lot in your daily work. Well, friends, we just covered 6 skills that are important for a project manager. If that resonated with you, if you checked all 6 skills, maybe project management is for you. But even if not, I hope I helped you create a more realistic and well-rounded perception of what the role of project manager is. And if it was helpful, please let me know in the comment section. I'm a relatively small channel, so I'm actually trying to answer as much comments as I can. So, hope to see you there. Bye!